gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for tonight's opponent, Lexington SC. Starting in goal, number 17, Oliver Simley. Number 4, Arturo Rodriguez. Number 5, Kendall Burns. Number 7, Marcus Hess. Number 8, Nick Firmino. Number 9, Philip Goodrum. Number 12, Xavier Miginse. Number 16, Blaine Ferry. Number 23, Javane Brown. Number 30, Lakeith Blessing. And the captain for Lexington SC tonight is number 6, Eric Malloy. The head coach of Lexington SC is Matt Hemme. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Indy 11, presented by Central Indiana Ford Dealers. Starting in goal, number 1, Eric Dick. Number 4, Anthony Herbert. Number 5, John O'Brien. Number 6, Dan Lindley. Number 8, Jack Blake. Number 17, Logan Neidlinger. Number 19, Edward Chiesa. Number 27, Bruno Rizzo.
It's only about 5 hours from being race day in Indianapolis. How do you get your engines revved for tomorrow's Indy 500? How about some Indy 11 soccer? They take on a team that has a bit of a horsepower background as well. From the heart of thoroughbred country, Lexington SC makes a first ever trip to the Circle City. Thanks for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus, alongside Indy 11 legend Brad Ring. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you for joining us. My broadcast partner for the better part of 5 years held the matches played record for the club. He was since topped by Ioze, and as soon as the whistle blows tonight, that record belongs to Cam Lindley.
I like that company. I'll take it.
Cam Lindley has been here now for parts of 5 seasons. What are you going to describe the impact that he has for the Indy 11?
He's the heart and soul of the team there in the midfield spot, right? Organizing, communicating, possessing the ball for Indy 11. He does a lot for the team.
Cam has been a stalwart in this league for the last 8 or 9 years. You would say kind of similar things about Philip Goodrum and Aaron Malloy. They were 2 of the bigger in-league free agent signings this offseason, both brought in by Lexington.
Yeah, look, Malloy does for Lexington what Cam does for Indy. Once again, kind of heart and soul of that team, organizes everyone, really good in possession. So look for him to be on the ball a lot tonight for Lexington.
What it hasn't done, though, is translated to wins just yet. Just 2 in 9 league matches for Lexington. The concern, Brad, is for other teams in the league, at some point, it's going to click.
Yeah, look, they have the talent, that's for sure. Maybe it's not clicking here initially out of the gates, but once it starts clicking, everyone's got to be pretty scared to play Lexington.
First of 2 matchups over the next 6 weeks. The next one will be in the Prinks Tires USL Cup in the heart of bluegrass country. Stay tuned. Starting lineups, opening kickoff comes your way next as you're watching Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
Every place has a purpose, and the people who inhabit those places have their own reasons for being there. The last thing on their minds should be concerns about the safety of the places they're in. When it comes to security and safety for all the places that matter, Dormakaba offers a seamless flow of integrated solutions that allow people to move securely about their daily lives. Because the places that matter to you matter to us.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. And by IU Health. Indiana University Health is proud to be the official health care and sports medicine provider of the Indy 11, supporting athletes in our community with expert orthopedic and sports injury care close to home. A place where I'll be about 10 hours from now because race day starts early in the Circle City. This match is about to start in downtown. Let's get you to it. Our starting lineups presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. In the players we highlight, Goodrum and Malloy in the starting lineup, but Epps, a veteran of this league, and Latif Blessing, a multi-year veteran of Major League Soccer.
Yeah, really dangerous out on the right side. He can create a lot.
Oliver Zemla was an outstanding keeper for his 1 year at Lou City, spent time with Philadelphia Union, now back in MLS as well. He's been their primary keeper all the season long. For head coach Matt Hemme. For the Indy 11, it's the same starting 11 they trotted out last week in their victory against Fort Wayne in Prinks Tires Cup action. Only difference from the last time we see him, Noble Okello goes to the bench. Edward Chiza gets the nod up top.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rendon and Misanvi, right? Those two guys on the wings are really good at taking on defenders, creating chances for Indy 11.
Well, these two teams getting ready to go. Our referee, Luis Diego Arroyo. Shane Richards, Fermin Sanchez, and Braden Fry, our assistant referees and fourth official. And there are some of the all-time greats in USL Championship play that are in this matchup. But one will be a record setter. Looks like the ball is going to get played to him first off the boot of Jack Blake. We are underway. And congratulations, Cam Lindley, on becoming the franchise's all-time leader in appearances with 127. Second time these two teams have met. Indy 11 played at Lexington last March. A 1-1 draw. Bruno Rendon had the goal. And Lexington had been in League One for a couple of seasons upon their launch. This is their second year in the championship. Foul whistled. And that will be against Latif Blessing, who immediately offers his hand to Cam Lindley as a mea culpa.
Trying to stay on the ref's good side early. Smart by Blessing.
It feels right in the first match, his record-breaking match in terms of appearances, that he would draw a foul within 40 seconds. That seems very on brand for Cam Lindley.
Yeah, absolutely. He's such a good player. He's been a lot for this club over the years, and congratulations to him on breaking this record.
Of course, local product from Garin Catholic High School. Paco Craig with his jersey ripped. I was going to say he's a little early for his track attire of Suns Out, Guns Out.
Yeah.
Without much in the way of sunshine currently available to us.
That's the quickest I've ever seen a jersey get ripped.
So the kit man out to work on Paco immediately. Let's get our keys to the match. They are presented again by your Central Indiana Ford dealers. Proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Brad, what do you got to focus on first for the Indy 11?
Yeah, jumping into the keys, home dominance. This is something that you and I talked a lot about. Indy's had some good runs over the years in terms of dominating and getting a lot of points at home. They're on a good stretch right now, so they need to continue that home dominance. And part of that is finishing chances, right? They're tied 8th in the league in terms of chances created, but unfortunately 16th in kind of the bottom third in terms of capitalizing on those chances. So they're creating them. They need to put them away. Once again, Rendon, Misanvi, those are two key guys creating chances on the flanks for Indy.
On the flip side, what is Lexington focusing on to get the road 3 points tonight?
I think one thing, I would expect Lexington to have a little bit more possession than Indy tonight. One thing that's important is to counter press, meaning when they lose the ball, especially in the attacking half, can they quickly press Indy to try to win the ball back before Indy sets up whoa.
Yeah, we can stop right there, because a foul is going to be called on Rendon. That's going to has to be a red. Yep, absolutely. He took a swing. And did Rendon instigate? To some degree, yes. But you cannot extend your hand and take a swing at a player. And your keys were exceedingly well thought out. But the match just changed 2 minutes in.
Yeah. A
straight red to Javane Brown.
Absolutely no idea what Brown is doing here.
Again, Rendon. And again, you can't do that.
Yeah,
now, Rendon's going to get a yellow.
I'm not even sure for what, to be quite honest.
Right, but
that
you
was
can't
a routine
do that.
Foul.
No, that is right out.
Man, how the game changed 2 minutes in.
Well, in terms of early yellows, I think the record against the Indy 11, there was a match in Charleston a 3 years ago. Leland Archer took down Sebastian Guenzati inside of the box on like the 5th touch of the game. Indy had a point to the spot and had a man up for 90-plus minutes. Then 2 years ago, Pat Hogan, when he was playing for Pittsburgh, high studs into the 5 and Indy 11 player, and Pat was sent packing in the 5th minute. So this comes in the middle, and again, did Rendon?
I do see the ball he kicked.
Right.
At that was the yellow, rightfully so. Good catch by the ref. I was wrong on that, but yeah, Brown's reaction was completely over the top. Not only did he hurt himself, hurt the team. You see here they're warming someone up. They're going to make a sub.
Correct.
Because they have to fix their formation. So he's really jeopardized Lexington's chance here on this away match here in Indy.
An early red is something that fans in Indianapolis don't want to see tomorrow. Tonight, they're all for it. They'll play with a man advantage, barring something Indy does improperly, for the remainder of this match.
Obviously, Rendon's got to be careful as well, right? A lot of times, refs call the game the right way, but naturally they try to. Is there a way to kind of even this out a little bit? And Rendon, obviously, an early yellow. He's got to be really careful not to pick up a second one.
So that is Joe Hafferty that is ready to enter the match when given the opportunity. And Hafferty has started a lot of matches this year for Lexington. We'll see who he's going to come in for. You would assume somebody up top is going to have a very short night for the visitors. Let's talk about mindset. Let's start with Indy. Now, this is a team in Indy that, frankly, has not had a great deal of possession in matches this year. In theory, that is going to change. Goodrum on the attack here. Plays it across, but again, overcooks it. And because you've got one man down, nobody is there. So now you can answer the question.
Yeah, it changed it for obvious reason, the one guy down, right? But a lot of times, coaches will take the guy out from the attacking positions. Therefore, the Indy 11 back line shouldn't have as much pressure, which leads to more possession, right? So that's typically why that occurs. But we'll see. It's very early on. They could risk it. They could maybe take a defender out. They could take a central midfielder out. We'll see what they do here when this sub comes on.
So Hafferty has made his way to the fourth official already.
But you can see right here automatically, right, Lexington's forced to sit back a little bit, and that's going to leave Quinn with all day crosses like that.
Rendon was looking back post. It should be a corner. We'll look towards the fourth official first, and it will be a corner. That corner's sponsored. Gets that corner sponsored in a matter of moments.
Great ball in here by Aiden Quinn on the far flank. It's good tracking back by Epps for Lexington.
Indy 11 corner kicks presented by IBEW 481. We also have a substitution brought to us by Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies. And Latif Blessing was in for a hiccup of tonight's match as he is now out in minute number 7. Ending ball in, Malloy got there first. Blake launches that one near our camera position above the BYB.
Yeah, just got under that too much. A lot of times on those, it's naturally going to rise on you, so you want to really kind of come down at the ball to keep it below the crossbar. Obviously, Jack knows that. He's a veteran. He's hit tons of those types of balls. Sometimes it just comes off a little wrong.
So Lexington will still build from the back while being a man down. And Goodrum doesn't get the whistle. Quinn. Frankly, Quinn can hit the accelerator now in terms of getting out in the attack. You can see Neidlinger do the same on the opposite flank.
Yeah, exactly. Lexington being down a guy is going to allow Indy 11's outside backs to get more into the attack.
A couple of good things here for Lexington. They have had some downtime leading in this match. In other words, everybody's kind of fresh and should be kind of have some renewed energy as the flag's going to go up on Goodrum. Secondly, if you're going to chase the match weather condition wise, you couldn't have a better night. It is cloudy. It's in the 60s. It's kind of a cool evening. You're going to be overly taxed by the weather conditions this evening. Let's get you our Back to Healthy report brought to us by IU Health, the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. Charlie Sharp, Muhammad Omar, Micah Thomas also remain out due to injuries. Those players due to return, especially Omar and Thomas, likely sooner rather than later. Again, Hayden White, Pat Hogan, both out for the season. Those would have been starters along the back line due to injury. Masanvi does not get a controlling touch.
Paco Craig's had a good first 8 minutes here, just staying tight on the forwards, coming into the midfield, applying pressure. He's had a lot of action here early on.
You know, I think Paco was originally thought to be brought in to be almost kind of an insurance policy. Well, that insurance policy got cashed very early. Great touch by Epps. And he's been a good player in this league for a long time. Herbert Chiza. Great fight by Chiza, and that will be a foul. And let's see if that's a card. Not because of the ferocity of the foul, because of the denial of the opportunity for the Indy 11.
Ref decided not to. Certainly could have. I know the Indy 11 bench was calling for it. If he doesn't foul there, Chiza's on the break. That's a pretty dangerous opportunity for Indy 11 on that counterattack.
That was Ordonez, who turned 29 yesterday. Native of Spain, but a really good player in this league with both Pittsburgh and Lou City. But here's a counter opportunity for Lexington. Masanvi hustling back. Gets nudged out of the way. The shot. Outstanding look for Lexington that doesn't find the back of the net. But because they threw numbers forward, here comes Indy. But Masanvi's ball was a bit too optimistic and went directly to Oliver Zemla.
Yeah, this game's been opened up here the last few minutes, which is exciting. See Malloy on the ball, kind of calming things down here for Lexington.
Of course, this match is brought to us by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. And clearly both these teams are going for the full 3 points tonight. And this is not a conference matchup. Lexington, their second year in the championship, is still in the Western Conference. Here's Lexington's best opportunity of the night, while Indy works for possession at the other end.
Yeah, Masambi just kind of overran it. Dick getting saved by the post there, keeping this game level.
That was Blaine Ferry that ended up with the blast on target for Lexington. Blaine has started every match so far this season for the visitors, spent the last couple of years at Tulsa. And it's a Lexington team that doesn't have a whole lot of goals so far this year. Aaron Malloy is their leading goal scorer with 3. That's really not what he does. He's the guy that controls the tempo, and he's the guy that sets up the guy, frankly. And Goodrum will be working by his lonesome a whole lot tonight. And Paco Craig is going to be his shadow now for most of the evening. If you're just joining us, Lexington pick up a red card in the 3rd minute. Javane Brown for reaching out and striking Bruno Rendon after Rendon had initiated contact with Brown right in front of the 4th official. And frankly, right in front of our broadcast location. So far, Lexington's done a pretty good job, but with one skip of the attack, now it's 3v3 at the back. Chiza, Rendon, make it 7 for Bruno Rendon. Flag stays down. It's an early chance to cue the smoke in Indianapolis. Rendon's heater continues, and the Indy 11 have a 1-goal lead.
Fantastic through ball. Rendon takes it so well. We see a replay here. It's Chiza getting on it, turning, attacking the back line.
Not much that Semla could do there. And again, you said it well. That was all about Chiza putting that on a tee for Bruno Rendon.
Absolutely. And that's what you want. When you're forward, Chiza is coming back, getting the ball, turning, running at the back line, and then he has runners. So in that instance, Rendon is great play all around.
We said 7 for Rendon. That includes Prince Tires Cup. That includes US Open Cup. In terms of championship play, that is his 5th for the Indy 11. It is the first assist for Edward Chiza in any competition this year. And Indy taking advantage of the man advantage, and they're a goal to the good. Now, we will point this stat out very early in the evening. Indy's issue has been holding on to leads late. We're about 70 minutes from this being late, but even last week, Fort Wayne scores a goal in cup competition, and the match had to go to PKs, and that cost Indy a point in the Prince Tires Cup.
Yeah, and this was an issue they dealt with a little bit last year as well, Rake. But I'll tell you what, I guarantee that Coach McCauley and his staff are not going to be content holding on to a 1-0 lead up a guy at home. They're going to be pushing for the second and the third to get a little buffer there.
Indy 11 Soccer is brought to us by Desnuda, 100% organic tequila. How real tequila tastes.
Another interesting dynamic here is Lexington likes to possess the ball. They're one of the best in the league in terms of possessing the ball. Top 4 in passes, top 4 in passing accuracy. They're still going to try, but it's a little harder down a guy.
Good looking ball here, looking for Epps, just a little too tall. Again, considering they've been down a man for 12 minutes, possession's been really good. Malloy has a hit, but could not keep it on target. Not a touch there, but again, you see the applause from Lexington bench.
Well, I mean, the first touch from Malloy there is clinical. He gets Jack Blake kind of leaning a little bit, takes it back to his left. Shot goes wide, but unbelievable first touch on a pretty hard ball bouncing in.
Well, there's a guy that we talk about on the Indy 11 squad, is the long ball directed towards Chiza. We'll finish that thought when play slows. Indy elects to go for possession here. Blake trying to find Musanvi. Asking for a handball, but wins it back anyway. And Zemla makes the diving save to his left. But back to the other end about Aaron Malloy. You know, we say without flinching, hey, listen, Aiden Quinn's on the best 11 to ever play in this league. You probably say the same thing about Aaron Malloy.
Yeah. Yeah, great player. And you see little glimpses just like that touch on the previous play. Chiza's doing a really good job for Indy 11 right now. Obviously, he got the assist on the last one, but even the other one a minute ago, ball over the top. He knows he doesn't have to win the first ball, right? It can bounce. He just needs to get into some bodies, make it difficult for Lexington to clear the ball. And then just like that, Indy grabs it. Now they're in the attacking third with dangerous opportunities.
Quinn hustling back and not only got back in time, play that off of Xavier Zenge, getting his 6th start of the season. 25-year-old from Minnesota. Well, you mentioned this in the Ford Keys before Brown's red card so rudely interrupted your thought process. Let's go back to something you said about the Indy 11, talking about establishing home dominance. They have now won 6 of their last 7 and drawn the other in this building. That's a note for a couple of reasons. A, they're at home the next 3 Saturdays. But you've also talked about it as well. You know, you were part of a team that didn't lose a match an entire season here in 2016. And Indy has one of the longest home unbeaten streaks in the history of the USL Championship. Now, again, this dates back to the days at Lucas Oil, but they went a large chunk between 2018 and 2020 of never losing a home match, of getting 3 or 1 every time out. It's been done before, and it's something that every coach talks about. Hey, you got to establish at home. It seems that this group is doing that, Brad.
Yeah. Kudos to the group. Kudos to the coaching staff. I mean, kind of rule of thumb, right, is win the home games, try to steal points on the road. Not that you're ever going to want to not try to win on the road, right? But if you can have that home dominance and get 3 points more times than not, you're going to set yourself up in a good spot to be in the playoff hunt. And that's where they are right now. Indy, they're sitting 8th, right? Obviously, they want to be higher. With a win tonight, they could. But they've done a really good job protecting their home field.
Indy 11 Soccer is brought to us by Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Again, Lexington is simply going to give up some possession along the back line. When you have to play down like this for the length of time in which they're being asked to do it, you got to pick your battles. In other words, if you're Indy, you got to reset. Big deal. Just start it all over again.
Yeah.
And that will be a corner. And our corner is brought to us by IBEW 481. So it's Lindley that heads over to the opposite corner flag. Indy 11 given a gift tonight of the early red card by Javane Brown. I'm not sure if it impacts the game as much, but we have a similar gift that is inbound to us, which we'll talk about once this corner kick has been steered in by Cam Lindley. And His 127th appearance for the Indy 11. Puts this one up, punched away by Semla. Quinn, who scored last week in Fort Wayne, will play it all the way back to Eric Dick. Eric was intimidating last week in PKs. That thing was over in 7 combined shots. He only had to face 3 to win the shootout last week. Actually, he faced 4. So I talked to Cam Lindley for Soccer Saturday. I said, what number are you in the order? He goes, 4th. And you can tell by that only 3 guys had a chance to take him and made them all for the Indy 11.
Yeah, pretty
Blake,
rare.
Quinn, and O'Brien. Rendon 1 touch to Masanvi. Masanvi finds a window. Just couldn't cut it through, and again, you're going to have 8 and 9 behind the ball at all costs right now for Lexington. Just trying to give themselves a chance for one moment to make a difference.
The hard thing with that is Goodrum gets the ball, and he's got a guy completely on him, another guy covering, so it's really hard for him to possess it for Lexington, although he did a good job on that last attempt. And Epps is dangerous down the left side. Indy needs to watch out here. Neidlinger.
Epps plays it across. Herbert, that will be a corner. And again, this is where that numbers advantage is kind of neutralized a little bit. Lexington's going to get one back. Here's one of their best opportunities of the evening.
Yeah, when you're down a guy, set pieces are always crucial, especially when you're down a guy. That allows you to get your defenders up in, kind of make the numbers a little bit more even there in the box. And Epps is a really, really good player, dangerous player. He creates a lot down the left side for Lexington.
Epps is 31, Neidlinger is 20. It's gonna be a learning opportunity for Logan Neidlinger this evening. And Logan in his 3rd year with the club. Did not feature much last year. The injury to Hayden White has given him the opportunity, and so far he has taken advantage of it. Again, Malloy from this distance can get something done. That takes a turn off of Cam Lindley and is squared back towards the Indy 11 bench. And it will be a throw. Maybe, eventually, it's going to be a foul on Masanvi, yep, for rooting out Malloy. Yep.
Yeah, Malloy kind of gave Masanvi a nudge first, and Masanvi saw a good opportunity to try to even the tally there.
It's often a guy that is second that gets whistled. So thankfully, Lexington has the ball at the back, and our friends at Cluster Truck and Zeke are here, because as you can tell, I don't eat enough when it comes to pre-gaming for the Indy 11. And our buddy Evan from Cluster Truck has stopped by as well. Now Zeke is going silent. We'll put headsets on you if you want to. Okay, we'll work this out. We are so amazed by the food that you have brought that I forgot to give our guests the chance to talk. And our folks at Cluster Truck, great partner with the Indy 11, as Craig sweeps that away. So I've been told legally we're allowed to eat in the broadcast, which I think is just phenomenal. First of all, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good to see you as well. I'm great. The hardest working man in Indianapolis right here.
What is race weekend like for you and Cluster Truck?
Yes, race weekend is great. We have the 3 Burger Bash burgers on the menu, so we actually just did the Burger Bash with Kevin Lee, and I brought you guys one of them, the Connor Daly burger, so you'll have to share that. But we also have the Kevin Bowen burger and the Nate Spengel burger. 20% of the proceeds from those are donated to the Simon Cancer Center. It is so hard to talk about food while there's a soccer game going on. This is a great view.
We could charge good money for these seats, but you wouldn't have the food that we get here. Now, other than the great burgers, what else did you bring our way?
Yes, so Cluster Truck has a ton of variety on the menu, so I had to display that today. We've got a Thai red curry in the bag. That's house-made curry, and it is phenomenal. Cheesy red, which is one of my favorites. I brought your favorite, the Applewood chicken salad. Got to have that every time. And also brought the crispy chicken Caesar wrap, which is a top seller on the menu.
Brad, which of these would you like to have?
Oh, goodness. All of it.
Because some's going to go to Zeke. Zeke gets hungry during the match.
The best delivery man, by the way.
Oh,
dog, delivery mastiff.
Without
Zeke.
question. Now, you guys just opened in Carmel or made it available in Carmel as of March. How is that going so far?
It's going well, yeah. So opened in Carmel, it's our first franchisee. So we're franchising now and trying to expand throughout Indianapolis. So yeah, we're serving Carmel and Westfield from that kitchen. It's on Meridian Street, right across from St. Vincent's, offering pickup and delivery. And delivery is always free with Cluster Truck, of course.
I have lived in a cluster truck neighborhood for a long time, being in Broad Ripple, so there's a lot more and more of town that is available. So download the app is the best way. How can people find out more information about the great work that you and your friends do?
Yeah, download the app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store. You can find us at clustertruck.com and order delivery from there. And if you use code 11 at checkout, you'll get $5 off your order.
You know, there's no good way to do this, casually. So
tear into it. I love
exactly.
that.
Here's the buffalo
also
mac
brought
and
some
cheese.
mac
That's
and
gonna go in your
cheese.
first.
Buffalo
You don't want to
chicken
do
mac
this.
and cheese.
This is the chicken Caesar wrap.
Here's your
so
salad.
This sounds like it's remotely healthy. But again, I think I know what my role is here. Is I hope this select soccer ball doesn't get in my way. This is what's called product placement.
That's a good one. The chicken Caesar wrap.
Very good.
Crispy chicken, house-made Caesar dressing. Phenomenal. And that is our Connor Daly burger right there.
Yeah, this looks
Bacon,
amazing.
barbecue sauce on the side, crispy fried onion straws. 20% of the sales to the Simon Cancer Center.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah.
So this is the part where we get to eat. So you'll only hear Brad and I talking intermittently now for the next several minutes because the other one is chowing down. Let's case. Having good to
Very
see
nice.
you, man.
Great to see you
Happy
guys.
race weekend.
Thank you, you too. And if I can say one more thing,
Please.
We'll have blind rankings with Cam Lindley, the Carmel kid, coming out on Friday on our social media. So check that out.
We will be talking about that next week on the show. Thanks, buddy.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
The 20th minute chow down. This needs to be, a tradition. Not just race week, like Days and N and Y on the broadcast. Absolutely. And thanks to having the good folks at Cluster Truck being a great sponsor of ours with the Indy 11. Somehow we got to regain focus on the match and auction off some of this food that we have right in front of us for the rest of the night as well.
Rendon's flanking down the right here.
Rendon. Blake slides it across. Could not get it to Edward Chizza. So 26 minute. Chizza with the header. Again, credit Lexington. And part of that is the nature of the Indy 11. They are not a ball-dominant team. Even though playing down a man, Lexington's having some good possession. However, every time that Lexington brings the ball forward, Indy's finding cracks and crevices on the other end.
Yeah, really dangerous with the speed that Indy has on the flanks. You see Chizza almost redirecting that Quinn kind of cross on frame, but Lexington holding on right now, just being down a goal.
And again, as long as they are within one, they've got an opportunity. Your Central Indiana Ford dealers, proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Did you like the burger?
Oh, I haven't had a bite yet.
Okay.
Looked good.
Is it the Connor Daly that you had tonight?
Yeah.
All right. And for those of you watching outside of Indianapolis, maybe Lexington fans that have not been turned off by us eating on the broadcast just yet, Connor, of course, one of the 33 starters that will be racing for the bottle of milk and to have their name on the side of the Borg Warner. Connor, a local product from Noblesville. Masanvi asking for contact, didn't get it. Goodrum only has a couple of players making the run with him. Lexington been playing a man down since Javane Brown got the red card back in minute number 3. Indy scored in minute number 13. Bruno Rendon 7th in all competitions. And again, fair play to Lexington. They've had a good chunk of the possession since that time. But obviously where it matters most, Indy has the 1-goal advantage.
Yeah, which Indy's style isn't necessarily to high press everyone the whole game. So I kind of like that they didn't change their philosophy just because they're up a guy. They're letting Lexington kind of knock it around the back, picking their chances where Chizza can then curl his run and try to force it one way.
Again, Epps the target. Draws the attention of both Herbert and Rendon. And again, there's that extra guy. 2 players can go fly at the attacker.
Yep. Well done by Rendon and Herbert. And then you see this here. They have one of the things I was saying, keys to the game for Lexington is that counter press. Harder to do that, obviously, down a guy.
When you're playing down a man, it's all about picking your spots for Lexington.
Yeah, and for them, not that other guys can't do it, but Epps is certainly a guy that Indy needs to make sure they know where he is at all times, even when Indy is on the attack as they are now.
Tonight for Cam Lindley, setting the franchise record with matches played. Next week, that player will be Aiden Quinn. Not in terms of breaking the record. The night is the 90th time he has appeared over parts of 4 years with the Indy 11. But next week will be Aiden's 300th appearance in a USL Championship regular season match. Only topped by Sean Tosh of Lou City. And not surprisingly, those guys are 1-2 in career minutes played as well. Well, Aiden likely next week will go over 25,000 minutes played, which is the first in league history, because the order is reversed of those two when it comes to league minutes.
It's a lot of games, a lot of minutes, a lot of experience from two great players.
Indy thought yep, there it comes up. Thought Epps had just ventured a bit offside. By the way, possession, almost 50-50, which again is a credit to Lexington.
Yeah, I think Coach McCauley's kind of yelling out at Cam Lindley right now. You don't necessarily want your center backs being the playmakers, and you've seen that just a little bit with Paco and Herbert here. I think it's better if Cam Lindley can get on the ball, as he is now, right? Keep some possession, get the ball wide to Neidlinger, into Missanvi, into Rendon, play through the middle with O'Brien and Blake. You're going to have more success kind of breaking down Lexington that way.
5 shots, 2 in favor of the Indy 11. Shots on target. 2 for Indy, none yet for Lexington. And there's rang off the post. Quinn slows just enough for extra teammates to get behind the ball.
Indy's just not being patient enough when they have the ball. Coach McCauley's got a little frustration on the sidelines here after a couple kind of needless giveaways. They can just keep working it kind of back and forth. Let Lexington tire, wait for gaps to open up, and then expose those gaps with their speed and ball moving through the middle.
Wins so far this year in championship play. Brooklyn and Monterey Bay for Lexington. Hafferty slides it through. But Paco Craig timed that one perfectly. Not out of danger just yet. Missanvi. And Missanvi, that's again a fistful of jersey, and Zenge will draw the card.
Yeah.
So red showed to Brown nearly 30 minutes ago. Yellow now shown to Xavier Zenge. And that was for the extended tug of the jersey right there.
Yeah, look, anytime you grab a jersey, you shouldn't be too surprised if a yellow comes out, right?
Especially if I can count to 3 and the jersey has not been released.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Valid point.
Looking for the best deal in town? Check out the Pabst Blue Ribbon deck next time you're at Carroll Stadium. Enjoy $3 PBRs all game long. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com or the Indy 11 box office day of game. Pabst Blue Ribbon, because you deserve a blue ribbon. Indy looking for their 7th win in their last 8 home matches. Chisholm is trying to find an outlet. It's the interception. Rendon. Was there a touch there? Yes. Corner kick coming. Presented by IBEW 481 for the Indy 11.
That's a better example of what I said a couple minutes ago, right? Right, when there's being more patient in possession on that attack. They strung together, I don't know, 20, maybe 22 passes there, and it led to a decent opportunity at the top of the box. Much better doing that than trying these hopeful kind of balls out wide. You don't have to take as much risk.
Well, frankly, that's kind of how Indy has played most. They played the long ball. That's what they've done.
Right.
It's kind of rewiring the brain a little bit. Some with the easy play on that one. Really the only match where Indy had a lot of the ball was the victory against Sporting Club Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. And that's a Sporting Jacksonville team that really has been struggling. Neither they nor Monterey Bay have picked up a win in league play just yet. Herbert and Craig have both been a little more free to roam forward tonight in terms of tracking individual players to defend.
Yeah, rule of thumb there, right? If one of the center backs steps in, the other one hangs back for coverage behind. They've kind of had that exchange down pat really well here in the first half. Obviously, it helps being up a guy, but nonetheless, done a good job limiting Lexington's chances.
Ball kept in play by Lexington. Goodrum couldn't get there. And Neidlinger prodded to launch the attack. Lindley trying to use that speed to Masanvi, but put that a little too centralized and allowed Semla to make a relatively easy play. Semla, 28 years old, 12 goals conceded now. 3 clean sheets on the year. From Germany, played at Marshall. Bring up a bad memory, Brad, I'm sorry. He was the man in net for Marshall when they beat Indiana in the spring of 21. Cary, North Carolina. Of course, the championship's moving back to the spring here in a couple of years, as we'll have a 2-semester season in Division I soccer, not this coming year, but in 2027 and 28.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. Be a little weird kind of adjustment period for sure in college soccer, but kind of elongating that season, making the spring games, I think, double the amount that you can have now, and making them meaningful. So there's more meaningful games year round instead of everything being just jam-packed into a kind of 2-month season there in the fall.
Of course, the College Cup not that long ago was held in one of our venues in the league when Lynn Family Stadium played host to the College Cup finals a couple of years back. Not to mention, referencing the old days of course, dormant this year, but North Carolina FC / the Carolina Railhawks playing in Cary. Lexington kind of standing on the ball right now. We're going to quickly show you the red card that happened back in minute number 3. We'll go double box here so you don't miss a thing that's happening. Again, Brown and Rendon get tangled up. There was that kick of the ball by Rendon, and Brown just, again, reached out with that left hand. That is a no-no. But to Lexington's credit, they continue to battle. Not a corner, but it is a throw incoming. And again, possession is in favor of the team that is down a man.
Yeah. We expected that to be the case when they were 11 on 11. Obviously, losing a guy, that changes some things. You see them taking the time here. Looks like they're going to opt for a long throw, kind of treat it like a corner kick.
Kendall Burks will launch. Quinn got there first for Indy. Chisholm. Again, anything to try to spring the counter, because Indy's speed is where they're at their best. Rendon is on a flyer. He might qualify for row 12. Rendon, can he get there? Eventually. And Rendon pulled up. We'll see exactly what the whistle here is for.
Yeah, but I think Malloy is saying Rendon kicked him. I don't think Rendon did anything wrong whatsoever.
I think Rendon, frankly, held up.
Yeah, that was nothing. Cam Lindley's got the ball on the, looking like he wants to take a PK. Not quite sure what's going on here, to be honest.
Is it an indirect free kick, perhaps? Obviously, our broadcast location is not far from the fourth official, so you and I are kind of laying out to figure out exactly what's going on here.
This is kind of an odd odd stoppage. I'm
Do we
not
maybe
sure
have an
anyone.
official injury? Is this the issue we're dealing with here? Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, okay.
Our center and our fourth are going to exchange positions. So Luis Diego Arroyo headed off the field. Braden Fry will have to kind of get geared up. In other words, we take kind of this stoppage in play to make the switch here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we've ever seen that in an Indy 11 match. I mean, certainly it happens.
Right.
The miles that these guys put in are tremendous.
Yeah, it's not an easy job, that's for sure.
That's why we were kind of stumbling as to what the story was, because we don't see this very often. So Shane Richards and Fermin Sanchez are our assistant referees. Braden Fry is our fourth. And frankly, what you now see is the amount of communication that these guys have as you have to kind of switch things up. Our crew is fantastic. Watch our center. And there's the hitch and the giddy up right there.
Makes you think it might be a hamstring. But
certainly.
Mark, I'm going to take care of you guys, all right?
So we'll have a little extra time before we get to halftime, and understandably so. Fans, you can enter the Prinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on your screen and enter today. We may have to do our Back to Healthy report again. We have to add an official to it.
Yeah, you feel for him. You feel for the ref. Obviously, you know, not much you can do there. But to your point, they're putting in miles and miles and miles throughout the game, and you saw him on that replay. He was on a dead sprint getting down the field to get in position, which he was. So kudos to him. He's had a good first half here, but now we see the change.
We wish the best for Luis. And he will stay in now a stationary position. So our full complement of referees. We're looking at probably additional 3 or 4 minutes now that get tacked on to half number one. Gives us a chance to tell you about Soccer Saturday on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan happens every Saturday morning from 9 until 10 a.m. This week on the show, we heard from Sean McCauley, Cam Lindley, Emma Johnson representing the 11 women's squad who won at Toledo 3-1 last Saturday. They play at the Dayton Dutch Lions tomorrow afternoon. Talked to Stephen Dawhair, who is the minority owner of Lexington SC, and talked about their meteoric rise up the USL ecosystem. Go back and listen anytime. Go to or simply search for the Soccer Saturday and Indy 11 Coaches Show podcast archive on Spotify. Folks, if you have not driven through Lexington, say on your way to maybe the Smokies, or like a lot of us Hoosiers do on our way to Florida or Southern climes, you're driving down 75 in Lexington. Lexington's brand new complex is right next to the interstate. It is gorgeous. They have done so many things well as a young franchise. And of course, not just on the men's side, their women's team plays in the Gainbridge Super League as well. They have been a tremendous addition to the USL. It's a restart coming here.
One thing to keep an eye on here is a new center ref, right? Is he gonna call the game the exact same way the previous ref called it? No, they're different people, different perspectives. Now, he'll probably try his best, but there has to be a little feeling out period by both teams in terms of how this referee is going to call it. And
unintentionally, and again, you have to make this change if our center is hurt. It's a bit of a giveaway at the back. And Rendon, nothing given here as he plays on. But what it also does is that gave the team that's a man down about a 3 or 4 minute respite. You can't avoid it, but it is a break for Lexington. So our crew doesn't miss anything. 5 minutes was the amount of time that we laid out. Ordonez. Ferry drops back a little bit more with trying to maintain possession. And he's been sitting on this 1-goal lead now for 30-plus minutes. We'll hear from the 11 head coach Sean McCauley as we start our halftime show. Handful of minutes from now, again, we will have About as much first half stoppage time as we have seen in some time because of the red card, because of the center official switch.
See Lexington with some extended possession here. Great defense by Neidlinger.
Throw in coming here for the visitors.
Taking their time, set up the long throw once again. And on these, you're typically not looking to score directly off the header, right? Usually that first action is a flick to try to get it further towards the goal, onto the back post, middle of the goal, to kind of win that second ball to score off of.
Burke's on the throw. Herbert got there first. Lindley gets there next. Chiza and Masanvi just kind of between the two of them. Malloy was trying to one-time that. And again, you got to take some longer risk shots in this scenario. Great touch by Quinn. We've said that for about 13 years in this league.
Yeah. And circling back to one thing, Herbert is just eating everything up. Every aerial ball, he's just eating up.
That's been him all year.
Yep.
Neidlinger's left foot had the proper bend to it, just couldn't keep it. But it was a touch. So, corner coming for the Indy 11. Brought to us by IVEW 481.
Kind of the first time Neidlinger's gotten into the action, and good look. Strikes it well with his left.
6 minutes of additional time. 6 minutes left to go before we get to the intermission. Fourth corner for Indy. Third taken by Lindley. Semla does enough with it. Indy asking for an extended arm. Don't get it. Neidlinger, not the touch he was hoping for.
Yeah, it's a tough ball. Trying to come across it, knock it back and across in front of goal.
Fans, show your Indy 11 pride to get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today.
Not that Indy 11's going to risk anything and put too many numbers forward, but I wouldn't be surprised if kind of during that stoppage, Coach McCauley said, hey, can we get one more before halftime?
Off the boot of Blake. It's be a foul on Jack Blake. As Ferry ends up off the turf.
It was somewhat maybe of a kind of retaliation from Jack Blake. He got kicked just a moment prior.
Epps trying to work around Neidlinger. Lindley. Blake. Here comes the rush for Indy. Masanvi the target. Blake lops it perfectly. And again, Blake's going to get whistled for a foul. And I think it's going to be talking to and not card, but
yeah, he's got to watch out.
This is a Dean Warmer level of double secret probation that Jack Blake has now been put on.
He's trying to make strides for my yellow card record, and I don't like it.
So we researched this before the broadcast. And Brad had the matches played record for the Indy 11. That's been gone for the last 3 years. The record that Brad still cherishes to this day.
That's all I got, Rake.
Is his yellow card record of 29. Cam Lindley and Jack Blake are sitting on 23. So it is possible that record goes by the wayside at some point this year as well.
I'm looking for just fair play.
Neidlinger on the foul. Hafferty draws the contact. Herbert wins yet another duel.
Yeah, he doesn't lose any aerial battles.
Herbert spent time with Las Vegas and New Mexico over the last couple of years. Plays his international football for Trinidad and Tobago. Mikel Rashid, former Indy product, had won the job out of training camp in the preseason. Anthony came in week number 3 and has locked down that spot ever since.
Yeah, he's been strong. Him and Paco Craig in the back have been a good center back pairing here for Indy so far.
And Burke's the weapon on the throw. Lindley. And just launches this one clear and lets Chizza chase. Goodrum. Plays this in, looking to make a turn for Mino. Craig didn't clear that the way he wanted to, but it could have been a whole lot worse. It is a corner coming for Lexington. They got to be infused with confidence how they've been playing for most of this half, a man down.
Absolutely. When Indy's had longer possessions and they've kind of had to stay back in a shell, they've actually defended that pretty well. And then when they've had opportunities in the attack, they've won a couple long throws, a couple corners. Good sequence there.
Here's Malloy. Bending ball in. Not cleared out of danger completely just yet. The hit steered wide. And we still have at least 60 seconds of action left to go. And he came in 8th in the East. Lexington 9th in the West. Lexington finished 9th last year. Just missed the playoffs in their first year in the championship. Sun's trying to fight through off to the west. This is an east-west pitch alignment. So it is off to the right as you watch along on ESPN Plus or MyNDTV this evening. This weekend of all, we really don't care about sun or clouds. We care about dry for the Indy 500.
Everyone's crossing their fingers for the forecast tomorrow.
And that's that. So the red card in minute 3 leads to a look for Bruno Rendon in minute number 13. Indy will take a man and a goal advantage into halftime. Sean McCauley, as he always does, on the trot, makes his way to our interview location just below our broadcast position here. Looks like Coach is ready. Coach, obviously you're given a bit of a gift early in this one to be a man up. Your thoughts about how it stacks up for your team so far?
Yeah, you know, I'm more pleased, obviously, about getting the goal when we were a man up, because sometimes it can be really difficult to break down a team that, you know, sits in behind the ball, and when they get the ball, want to play a lot of passes in their own half and drag us into areas. You know, so I'm pretty pleased that we got that goal. We just need to get another goal, because I think another one will kill them. We've got to make sure that we don't give them something to hang their hat on.
Tactically, anything you do differently? Because obviously talk about this to your team at halftime.
Yeah, we've really been struggling to, you know, when they're in a system now where it's 2 banks of 4 and they're playing very narrow, so they're taking away the middle of the field. So what we've got to do is try and get down the outside. And once we get down the outside and there are 4 shifts across, we've got to then quickly, if we can't get down that side, move the ball and manipulate the ball to the other side where we can then attack down that space. But trying to force it down the middle where they've got a lot of bodies is not a good thing. So I'm going to tell them that tactically.
Thanks, my friend. We'll talk to you after the match.
Thank you.
Sean McCauley, head coach of the Indy 11, as always, so kind to join us. We'll talk to him in the post-match show as well. The early red and the early goal. But Lexington continues the fight. And by no means are they out of it. And yes, Brad and I can eat that cluster truck now as well. Halftime in Indianapolis.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Deep inside you, there's a spark waiting to be ignited, a yearning for a real connection, something that truly moves you. Find experiences that stir your soul in our new Kentucky home, where amazing nature and authentic bluegrass inspire you, where world-renowned bourbon and horses wow you. Kentucky, find what moves you.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle. Like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying the match. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for the championship. Through 2 rounds of the Prinks Tires USL Cup, 5 championship clubs are a perfect 2-0 and lead their respective groups. Louisville City has racked up a tournament-high 8 goals so far, while Charleston and Tampa Bay own 6 goals each. And group leaders Sacramento and Colorado Springs have yet to allow a goal in the competition. Sporting Jacks defeated Sarasota Paradise in the USL Cup, earning its first ever victory, and it was a double cup matchup week for Sporting Jacks, who went on to grab a point in a 1-1 draw with FC Naples. The World Cup rosters are taking shape, and a pair of USL Championship players have earned call-ups to Haiti's national team. Colorado Springs switchbacks Duke Lacroix has made 6 appearances for Haiti, while Carl Sante from El Paso Locomotive has played in more than 20 matches for his national team. Upcoming national spotlight games on CBS Sports Network. Sporting Jacks in San Antonio next Wednesday. Then a big one between Louisville City and Tampa Bay Rowdies on the 30th. And another tough test for the Rowdies against Charleston Battery on June 10th. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
With more features to keep your account safe and secure. Northwest Bank is here for what's next.
Good dog.
Jansen Wilson with a heat-seeking missile! Now from distance, shot once more, and score!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
I truly give everything. that I can for them.
It's like, all right, like we're in this and we're going to go for it.
Esto es la porra, you know, this is who we are.
Everybody here doing the heartbeat, having everybody in the stadium do that was just like kills.
USL All Access returns this week. We'll break down the USL Prinks Tires Cup. 42 teams remain, but who's really got a shot at the final 8 coveted spots? We'll talk the Tampa Bay Rowdies' historic-ish start, still unbeaten through 8 games, the return of US Open Cup, and the best matches to watch this weekend.
Before the World Cup can begin, 48 national teams need a home. And home is a lot more than a practice field.
They wanted a beautiful grass field and in a sort of secure facility with great access to gyms and all the other pieces around.
Dan Rutstein had the honor of handing the keys to Orange County SC's entire facility to the U.S. men's national team. Why does it matter to you to have the U.S. national team at your facility?
Look, if you can't get excited about a World Cup, then we shouldn't be in this business. It's obviously an enormous opportunity. We're happy for them. It's a great facility. We're happy for us. We're happy for our fans. So we can be talked about in the same breath as the home nation in a home World Cup.
Orange County is joined by the Oakland Roots, who will host the Australian national team, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting first-time World Cup team Cape Verde. When clubs spend multiple weeks in one building, the facility must accommodate an entire support system, not just the players. In a large country like the United States, travel can take a toll. Cape Verde's Tampa home sets up short flights to Atlanta, Miami, and Houston for its group matches. Australia will play matches in Vancouver, Seattle, and nearby Santa Clara. The U.S. team's longest journey is Seattle, sandwiched between 2 group matches in Los Angeles. But as the World Cup takes place, it's business as usual for the USL Championship. For Orange County, a worthwhile temporary adjustment.
We're still training next door. The short-term pain of being not allowed to use our stadium for the medium and long-term gain of working with the US national team, we could never say no to an opportunity like that.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
Indiana is built on community, pride, and coming together. And on match day, that spirit lives at the heart of Indy 11.
Cuts it back, headed home. It is time to cue the smoke in Indianapolis for the first time this year.
Families, friends, lifelong fans, and first-time supporters alike. It's more than a match. It's a place where Indiana gathers to cheer, celebrate, and belong. Experience the energy at the mic. Get your tickets today at Indy11.com.
Don't miss out on your best summer yet. Upgrade your summer with AAA with local savings like free Indians tickets, VIP access at Ruas Music Center, 35% off zoo tickets, 50% off Indy 11, and more. Time's running out. Don't miss out. Renew today at AAA.com and make this your best summer yet.
Flying down the front stretch at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 500 number 110. tomorrow at 12:45 Eastern Time. We keep our fingers crossed about the weather forecast at 16th and Georgetown. A little closer to downtown. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Ring with you. You're watching Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV and ESPN. Plus, the Indy 11, a goal to the good. How should they feel about the first 45, Mr. Ring?
They got to feel great. Obviously, anytime you're going into halftime up is good. But Coach McCauley, we heard him, right? They need that second goal. That will help kind of, crush the soul, so to speak, of Lexington.
Indy 11, again, has allowed teams to get points from three-point scenarios. They got to avoid that tonight, playing a man up with the remainder of the match. And again, everything was dictated by what happened in minute number 3, Brad.
Yeah, kind of a no-nothing foul from Rendon. Rendon does then kind of kick the ball, but the reaction from Brown is unacceptable, and that's why he got the red card, changing the scope of the game here.
First big chance after came off of the post, but then Indy 11, the service from Chizza, and Rendon, one he's done all season long, found the finish.
Yeah, such a good kind of turn and drive from Chizza, and then Rendon just calm, cool, collected, picks his head up, puts it in the side netting to put Indy 11 up 1-0.
7th goal in all competitions for Bruno Rendon. He scored 3 in his first year in the championship last year. Here are the numbers, and again, I don't want to harp too much on the possession because we kind of know what Indy is. They're not a high possession team, and Lexington is, but they've got 55% of the possession.
Yeah.
And they played a man down for 47 minutes.
Yeah, it's rare to see for sure, but I referenced it in the first half. I don't mind it, right? Because Coach McCauley's not saying, hey, we're going to change who we are just because we're up a guy. No, we're going to play the way that we know how to play, the way that has gotten them 6 wins and a tie in the last 7 games at home, and it's working so far.
And Sun finally breaking free, clearly not affecting that young fans' enjoyment, lack thereof, or lack of awareness about the match that is taking place around us. In Indy 11 at home for each of the next 2 Saturdays. Play Rhode Island here next week. And it's back to Prinks Tires USL Cup play as Forward Madison, the 3rd League One team that Indy will be playing so far this year. Lexington will have the start of the possession here in half number 2. And already had to make a change, pulling Latif Blessing in favor of Joe Hafferty once Brown was sent off. No other changes being made. So here we go, half number 2. And Lexington's first trip to Indianapolis. And the teams played to a 1-1 draw at Lexington last year, and Indy will return the favor and play there on June 20th to wrap up the 4 group stage matches of Prinks Tires USL Cup action. That is the only championship side that Indy will play in their group. Again, these 2 teams are part of the only 17 group in that competition. Indy avoids playing Lou City and Detroit City. But because of the loss at home to Union Omaha, they know they face an uphill fight to win the group as they did a year ago. Zenge. Flag stays down. Malloy looking back post, but Epps. And we have an assistant referee that falls and slips. Hence the reason for a bit of a delayed call. But yes, that is a goal kick coming. And we've already lost our center, who's become now our 4th. We don't need to be down a linesman this evening either.
That would be rare territory.
And usually we talk about tight corners. This weekend it's at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They are kind of tight corners here inside of the track.
Yep.
And again, for those of you watching from the Lexington perspective, it's your first time watching an 11 match. Obviously, you see the track that is around. This facility was built back in the early 80s. Built for the National Sports Festival. And eventually used as centerpiece of the Pan Am Games 87. United States Olympic Track and Field Trials were here in 88. But eventually morphed into a soccer facility. Indy 11 began playing here in 2014. And this has been their primary home from 14 through 17 and from 21 through now 2026. This facility has even hosted a U.S. Open Cup final back in the late 90s as well, back when those were played at neutral sites.
Learn something new every broadcast with you, Rake.
Well, I know you're going to try to take a chance to stump me on something at some point in time later this half. We'll see how it plays out.
That's right.
By the way, this portion of this match is presented by our friends at Dormicaba, for every place that matters. Here's Paco Craig, 5-time first or second team All-League in terms of as a defender. And frankly, most of those were kind of 5-6 years ago and earlier during his stint with Lou City. But as you mentioned, he has been tremendous for the Indy 11. Exactly what they needed. Here's Masanvi trying to cut it back, and Blake had just held off on the run.
Good defense by Quinn there. Just forcing Lexington to turn around and go back. Get their shape set up.
Zenge. And a handball is called. Yep. A little lobbying from the Indy 11 bench didn't hurt that.
Yeah.
That's called by the AR and then related to the center. If you're just joining us, some other big things other than the goal happened in the first half. The early red against Lexington and Javane Brown, and then our center official, Luis Diego Arroyo, injured late in the half, and he and the fourth official, and Braden Fry, have switched positions. Ended up adding about 5 minutes of additional time to half number one. Lindley, what a ball to find Rendon. Right idea, even though Semler read it well.
Yeah, that was close one. I love the look. I love the run from Rendon too, kind of coming across that back line.
O'Brien going to be whistled for the foul.
O'Brien had a pretty quiet first half. He didn't call out his name a ton, but real good player for Indy 11. Here's a replay of Cam Lindley kind of looking to find Rendon on that backside.
Well, O'Brien making up for it as play resumes, as we're showing you the replay. O'Brien's up to the midfield block to passing game. And again, because Lexington being a man down, once those turnovers happen, Indy is trying to pounce all the more quickly.
Mm-hmm. But Lexington's done well. Another example there, kind of getting out of those tight spaces, finding some gaps on the far side, and then having some extended possession.
Malloy has a hit, and oh my goodness, Malloy gets his fourth goal of the year, and we're all tied up in the 51st minute. Malloy had all kind of space, and there was not a thing that Eric Dick could do about that, and now it is a point that feels like a win for Lexington. There's still a whole lot of soccer left to play.
Yeah, let's see this one. It reminds me of a Sooney Saad type strike from 2018. Had Eric Dick leaning to the right as it swerved back the opposite way.
As we said, he is one of the best players that we have seen at this level. 29 years of age is Malloy. 2 years in Memphis, 2 years in Charleston. Had played for Ben Pierman for most of his time in the championship. Irishman by way of Penn State.
Make no mistake about it, that changes the game completely. Indy, they can't be content whatsoever with the tie. They're going to be pushing the needle a little bit here, making sure that they get back on top.
Masanvi able to redirect that. Quinn trying to find a target. O'Brien was who he hoped to find there. Neidlinger tried the one touch, just didn't get much on it. Hezron Berry, by the way, has made his way to the Indy 11 bench. There will be an early substitution here for Indy. Blake. Chiza. Chiza tried to quickly play that ball to Rendon. Blake. Masanvi trying to find a window. Ball got through to Blake, but never could get it on his feet.
Another great example of Lexington getting out of trouble and escaping that initial counter press from Indy.
Ball off of Neidlinger. Hezron Berry makes his way to the fourth official. See who we might be coming in for in a matter of moments. Of course, the match brought to us by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction management, and investments. In previous stops, Malloy was not a prolific goal scorer. He kind of has had to be this year for Lexington. His team high fourth. Brad, what has Lexington done that's allowed them to kind of counterbalance the man disadvantage they have been on?
I mean, it helps that they are a possession-based team. And as we highlighted to kick things off, they have talent on this roster, right? It hasn't quite clicked so far in this 2026 campaign, but they have talent. And you can tell they're getting out of these tight gaps, escaping Indy 11's initial counter press, and it's actually allowing them to have more possession than Indy, which is rare, being down a guy. See what happens with this sub that Indy 11 is queued up in terms of Barry coming on. I wonder if that's going to be maybe a little shift of a formation to try to put another kind of midfielder in the mix. Masanvi's had some good opportunities down the left side, not necessarily for himself, but once again, as that creator, hasn't worked in terms of the final product there, but it's been something good going for Indy 11 so far this half.
Masanvi signed at the very end of the preseason. Spent the last 4 years primarily playing with Minnesota United's next pro team. Off the head of Aiden Quinn, it'll be a Lexington throw-in. But first, a substitution brought to us by Morales Group Staffing. It's going to be Edward Chiza that he will come in for. Substitutions, again, brought to us by Morales Group, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies.
Yeah, so what's happening? Barry's going into the left back. Quinn's pushing into the midfield. Masanvi's going from the left to the right. Jack Blake's popping out left. So a couple moving. Ooh.
High boot by Malloy. Malloy immediately goes to check on O'Brien. And that will be a yellow shown to Aaron Malloy for the high boot.
Yeah, he didn't mean to.
Right, yeah.
It's definitely a yellow card.
Not seeing much argument in either direction on that call.
It didn't feel good for O'Brien, that's for sure. But I think Malloy probably knew it as soon as it happened.
Reference the Irish backer to Malloy. O'Brien's got some Irish to him as well, and not just the O in front of his name. And he was born in Ireland, but lived primarily in the States. He's going to go play at the University of Washington was O'Brien, and then Watford came calling. Josh's third year with the Indy 11, still a very young pro, 23 years of age. He's on the Brad Ring goal plan, one per season for the Indy 11. So Hezron Berry. Spent last year with New England Revolution 2. Quinn trying to find Masanvi. Masanvi did not get everything he wanted to on it. And Frank, if there is a player who's going to score a headed goal for the Indy 11, you probably wouldn't think it was going to be Loic Masanvi.
Yeah, you do see the benefit of that sub right away, though, with Quinn getting the ball a little bit more advanced, a little bit more central. He is really good at getting his head up and finding those diagonal balls, crosses, through balls, balls into the feet of the forward, which Rendon is kind of playing that point forward spot now in replacement of Chiza.
Xavier Zengay will come off. Jonathan Lewis will come in. 4 matches played for Lewis, all as a sub, 69 total minutes. And he has spent time with the Colorado Rapids in Major League Soccer. Spent time with Barnsley in the English Football League. Substitutions brought to us by Morales Group Staffing. Thanks to our friends at Morales, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies. Let's note, only one more sub window remains for Lexington. They had to use one because of the red card.
That's right.
So whatever the subs they use, they have to bring them in all together now for the rest of the match. Quinn had a slaloming run for goal at Fort Wayne. He was trying to set up something of similar ilk here. Headed down. That was Blake, who didn't miss it by much. Love the creativity from Logan Neidlinger.
Yeah, good ball in. Jack Blake attacks it really well, but just kind of skims off his head a little bit. Missed opportunity, similar to Misanvi's missed opportunity there.
And I think part of what you're seeing, too, again, the wear and tear on Lexington will kick in at some point in time from having to chase the game as long as they have. Neidlinger had an assist earlier this year in Birmingham. Wins that header, does the 20-year-old from the south side of Indianapolis. Lofted ball, Rendon. Blake kind of hovering inside of the 6 if somebody can find him. That was the idea that Rendon had, just didn't get the ball that he wanted to hit. First of 2 matchups in the next 29 days between these two teams. Indy 11 soccer, sponsored by All Occasion Tent Rental, creating lasting memories, one event at a time. Foul against Aiden Quinn. Quinn and Rendon, the goal scorers from last week's matchup in Fort Wayne. In Indy's first match against a professional side from the state of Indiana. Congratulations to Scott Sproat, DeMarcus Beasley, everybody involved with taking Fort Wayne to League One after being in the League Two for the last handful of years, which is the pre-professional, amateur, college side of things. The new Ruoff Mortgage Center. Still a work in progress. Those throws have been exceedingly well done for Lexington. Misanvi finds Rendon, and Misanvi's going to join him.
Got 3-on-3.
Blake's off. Yep, Blake's off. Yep. Let's be honest. When it comes to Rendon, Misanvi, and Blake, Blake is probably the guy you thought least likely to be offside. Take a look. He's off, no doubt about it.
Like a lot of times it's the timing, right? I think Jack Blake probably thought that ball was going to be played through one touch earlier.
Correct.
Rendon takes an extra touch, and that throws off his run. It's hard when you're on a full sprint to drop it down to 50% and not be offsides there.
Of course, Jack, the all-time leading goal scored in Indy 11 history in all competition with 28. Scored in his first 3 matches he played this year. Did not make his season debut until March 31st, and you will see some smoke had been released by the BYB. They did not have the same angle that we did, where you could see that clearly Blake was in an offside position. Lewis and Barry get tangled up, and Barry eventually draws contact.
Well done by Barry there. Kind of first time he's really tested since being subbed in. Does a great job using his body. Clear jersey pull from Lexington on that play, which got the foul called.
Hezron going to have one of his longer stints of league play. This is the 6th time in now 9 league matches he has played, but he's played an average of 16 minutes a match. He'll go with the final 40 or so tonight. Tackle made by Ferry. And he comes up a bit gimpy.
Yeah, he's had a really good game for Lexington.
Goal by Bruno Rendon in minute 13. Malloy, the Wunderstrike. Can Neidlinger keep that in play? No. And a goal kick coming.
Missed it. Looks like he had a crossing opportunity. I'm not sure if he just didn't catch it or what happened there, but good ball over the top, good run by Neidlinger.
And again, keepers will take a little more time. This is where we saw the 8-second call enacted a couple of weeks ago. Might be a friendly nudge from the Indy 11 coaching staff to our fourth official. Hey, monitor those goal kicks tonight.
Yeah, Lexington is certainly in a position to try to, don't get me wrong, they're still going to try to push for a goal, right? But they'd be fairly content with a draw on the road and a red card in the 3rd minute. On the flip side of that, Indy would not be happy should the scoreline stay the same.
And Barry going to get called for, again, putting kind of both hands around Lewis. Fans, watch Wish TV, your local news source, online at wishtv.com, and download the All Indiana Sports app for free today.
Are you ready for it?
All right, so we are bringing back a segment that went away as we changed Brad's a couple of years ago. Brad Hodder was my broadcast partner for the first 11 years of Indy 11 soccer. Brad back with us in the Indy 11 organization. But Brad Ring and Dan Capsalis have split the duties the last couple of years, and apparently Take the Rake has returned by asking a trivia question to see if I really am human Google or not. So please fire away.
All right, I will say I had a lot of confidence in this question, and then we were talking before the game, and you said something that rattled me. I'm going to stick with the same question, though, but I'll pause.
Hang on a second. Jack Blake plays it across, looking back post. Couldn't find a teammate. Epps will get a touch. Plays it off of Neidlinger for a Lexington throw. What do you got?
All right, here we are. Here we go. Here we go. I'm thinking of an animal. Okay, an animal.
Yes.
That connects the city of Indianapolis and the city of Lexington. I want to know the animal, and I want to know the reason.
Well, I would assume a horse because of horsepower in racing. Lexington, of course, home to places like Kentucky Horse Park. Keeneland, one of the most famous horse racing facilities in the world. And, of course, horsepower on display tomorrow at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How did I do?
Yeah, I'll get better.
Okay,
thank you. I'll get better.
Thanks for the softball. Thank you.
Build your confidence.
Which I need.
Game or two later, I'm going to hit you with the hard stuff.
Indy does have a player ready to substitute. Dylan Singh will come on. Masanvi with the hustle to keep that in play. Blake lines it up.
Wow.
Couldn't keep it on target. But Masanvi earned an opportunity for the Indy 11 there.
Did he ever? What a hustle play from Masanvi. Blocking it, getting on the end of it, putting a great ball in. Let's see a replay here.
It's going to be Masanvi's last of the night. And Masanvi will go off the short way so Singh can fly on. Substitutions brought to us by Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies.
Jack Blake's maybe second kind of opportunity. He had one in the first half that he hit high. That one hit high. I'd venture to guess if he gets another one, he's going to put it where he wants it.
So Masanvi done for the night. Dylan Singh in. Dylan getting his 7th match in league play. 4th time coming in as a reserve. Had a goal here in the opening victory against Detroit City back in late March. Singh played at Western Michigan. 8 goals each of the last 2 seasons playing in MLS Next Pro for Dylan. And apparently a pretty good high school basketball player as well, as we learned this week. Shooting hoops at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Quinn stepping through looking for Singh.
Yeah, Singh was actually in a great window, but he just didn't know he was in a great window. He made the run. Quinn thought he was staying, just on different pages there.
Of course, this match is brought to you by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction management, and investments. Craig gambled. Doesn't come back to hurt him. Quinn going to be called for the handball and offers no argument. It's a cloudy first half. A setting sun here in half number 2. But nothing decided yet, even though Indy has been playing a man up. for now 64 minutes.
I wonder how much of that sub from Coach McCauley was getting Massanvi off, or maybe he just didn't love the look of Rendon up top. Rendon, I think, has kind of slid back out to the right now. I think they maybe lost a little bit of that danger on the right side when he moved up top.
Massanvi and Rendon, because of their speed, and Neidlinger gives the corner here. Almost guys you need to play on opposite sides of the field. I'm not sure they, kind of the same thing said about Rendon and Malik Foster last year. They kind of take up similar space. So corner given here.
Yeah, to their credit, I think they both had a great. I mean, Rendon's still on the field, but Massanvi had a great 65 minutes. Neidlinger's been tested a handful of times. Guys have gotten by him once or twice, did a good job kind of holding up there, but Lexington is certainly taking him on when they have the opportunity.
Bending ball in, and Eric Dick takes no chances, just dunks that over the crossbar. Another corner coming. And again, you know Malloy is going to put it on a platter. And it's not beyond Malloy to go Olympico here either. He's got that level of skill.
Yeah, we saw it on his goal. This in-swinger's tough. Really good first corner. See if he tries to duplicate it here and put it right on top of Eric Dick.
He does again and again. Eric has to parry that one away. It'll be a third consecutive corner, this one from the opposite corner flag. Both these teams have one substitution window left to use. Indy can use up to 3 subs. Frankly, Lexington is in the exact same boat. And Lexington has really started to slow the game down in terms of restarts and corners and things like that. And again, you're going to do that until told otherwise when you've been playing a man down for as long as they have. Even give themselves the short corner option here as well. Ferry with the left foot. As Ron Barry got in the way. Neidlinger. And as Neidlinger takes a touch, you can hear forward from the Indy 11 bench. And look at the numbers they've got. 4v2 at the back. Neidlinger trying to get the cross away, blocked by Hafferty.
That was not the ball to Neidlinger out wide.
And now there's numbers the other direction. Now it's 4v4 the other way. Malloy blasted again, this time not the same level of movement that the first one had.
Can't fault him for trying.
No. We'll use this in basketball. Some guys have in the gym range the Wemby pull-up 3 from the logo. Malloy's that guy here.
Yeah.
There is no shot that's a bad shot for him.
Real missed opportunity from Indy 11 on that counterattack just a moment ago. It was 4-5v2. Maybe they had tons of numbers going forward. O'Brien opted to pass the ball wide right to Neidlinger. I think the play was left more central.
Blake looking back post. Singh. Quinn couldn't get there for a follow-up.
What a touch.
Again, Singh. The volley. Flag stays down. Give it to him. Goal for the Indy 11. Josh O'Brien gets his second goal of the season. Now the smoke can pour once again for the BYB. And Indy is in front with 20-plus minutes left to go.
Big time finish from O'Brien. He's had a pretty quiet night, but what a strike. Really hard as he's running full speed. Ball's coming in. Kind of as the ball's hitting the ground. Great ball in from Jack Blake here. He made it look easy, Rick. That is a very, very difficult finish.
O'Brien gets his second league goal. His first one came against Birmingham some 5 weeks ago. He is now leaving the Brad Ring Goal a Year Club. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll still be your friend. By the way, Indy 11 Soccer is sponsored by Dormacaba. Dormacaba for every place that matters. Again, Lexington's pulled one back already. They'll try to do so on tired legs. Indy trying to close this one off. And again, kind of like the Monterey Bay match here. A second goal led to a third goal pretty quickly for the Indy 11. If they can do that one, you can begin to put this one in the past tense. Foul on Barry.
You're seeing Barry's physicality here. Probably, maybe a soft one there, but nonetheless, you could hear Jack Blake yelling, no foul, no foul, no foul.
And Barry does exactly that, and now tries to spring Dylan Singh. Singh with those fresh legs. Again, you really see the difference on a guy that's played 15 minutes versus guys that have played 70, a man down.
Yeah, absolutely. Indy's going to want to try to possess it when they can, but Singh is good at those kind of diagonal runs or corner runs, getting on the end of balls and then keeping it up the field for Indy, which, to our conversation earlier, is a little bit more how they're used to playing anyways.
Possession 52-48 in favor of Lexington. Scoreboard 2-1 in favor of Indianapolis. And that'll be a throw-in coming for Indy. And I'm not sure how much more Ferry has left to give at this point.
Yeah, he
may force the hand of any additional subs that Lexington has to make. Because he's been great. He's been really all over the map.
He's been really good. I mean, Malloy's been great too, both of them there in the midfield for Lexington. He took a shot earlier in the half. Barry's over here holding his hamstring a little bit. So we got two guys kind of hampered.
Yeah, Barry says, I'm fine, leave me alone. Ferry will battle on. Blake. That's going to be a foul. Yep. Drew that against Lewis. Now Indy can kind of take their time to some degree on a restart. Looks like the final player sub's about to be called up here for Lexington. Before that happens, make sure you tune in to the CBS Sports Network. You catch action from the USL Championship. Lou City, Tampa Bay, May 30th, 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Quinn bending ball, Craig was the target. Rendon kept it down. Singh, no. O'Brien looks for the brace. Semla saves. Not done yet. Quinn headed down. And that goes. Make it 3 for the Indy 11. And it's Dylan Singh that gets the goal, his second of the season. His first since March 21st. And that should just about do it for the Indy 11 tonight.
You called it, Rake. What'd you say just 2 minutes ago, huh? When you get the second, you get the third. I mean, these crosses in from Blake and Quinn were amazing. O'Brien, a little frustrated there, but stays with Indy.
And that will be assist number 63 in USL Championship play for Aiden Quinn. He is now 3 back of King Kenny of Canardo Forbes for the all-time record in the history of the league.
Big time goal from Singh there. Calming the nerves. You see a double sub coming from Lexington.
Final 2 substitutions of the match coming in for Lexington. Again, tip of the cap to Blaine Ferry. Gave everything he had tonight. Alfredo Medense will come in to replace him. And Marcus Epps will come out as well. Tariq Scott will come on to replace him. Epps lobbying for maybe a handball before that third Indy 11 goal. Too late for that now.
Your substitutions for Lexington SC in the 77th minute. Entering the game is number 19. Tyrek Scott. Leaving the game is number 7, Marcus Epps.
Blake Trying to launch that for one more. And Singh will just let that one check up. Nope, changes his mind at the last minute. It'll be a throw in eventually for the Indy 11. Indy will make their final 2 substitutions. Mikel Rashid, first time he's played in a while for the Indy 11. Alejandro Matrano going to get some run here as well. Good to see for Alejandro. I thought he played really well in the preseason. And just kind of the shuffling of the deck right before the end of the preseason. He wasn't making the 18 for a good chunk of the year.
Yeah.
Well, he looked really good back in February and March, and going to get a look here. So Logan Neidlinger's night is done, as Mikel Rashid will come on. Mikel started the first 2 matches. Only played in 1 since that time. He will exit. And Hezron Berry grasping that hamstring is enough for the Indy 11. They're going to say, hey, we're not going to take a chance here. Matrano is a natural left back. So Matrano comes in.
Yeah, unfortunate for Barry. Always feel for a guy that subs in and then has to be subbed out. Another kind of rare thing, but I thought he did well in the time he had tonight.
High boot against Dylan Singh. Our substitutions, by the way, brought to us by Morales Group Staffing, offering flexibility in both staffing and operational efficiencies. You know what's hitting me, partner? I got to be at the track in like about 8 hours at this point.
I'll be looking for you. I'll be looking for you tomorrow.
The best serve is to listen for me. You will hear me when you get there. Off the head of Matrano. Matrano had spent time with Miami FC. Matrano getting his 4th match in the championship. Played a total of 93 minutes. And Goodrum with the foul. And then Goodrum and Quinn get tangled up. And
Goodrum looking to start stuff.
As Matrano is down behind the play.
Love that from Aiden Quinn, though.
You're going to step up and defend your teammate. And frankly, from Goodrum's perspective, that's just sheer frustration how this year has gone for he and Lexington so far.
100%. Easy yellow card there. He was looking to start something. See a replay here. Definitely a foul here. You can see him a little frustrated, a little kick. Quinn comes to back up his teammate, and he immediately goes at Quinn.
I'm not sure if this is used as much anymore. Those are the old heads of the Indy 11 right there. Lindley, Quinn, and Craig. 3 kind of legends of the league, and they were all smiling as that was happening.
Yeah. Well, I think because they are all veterans, they're mature enough to know what to do, how to handle themselves. Quite opposite of Brown in the 3rd minute. He lets the heat of the moment get the best of him, throws a little swing, and changes the landscape of the game.
Even though these two, again, are not in the same conference, you only play 6 matches against teams from the other side these days in total. But because they're in the same group in the Prinks Tires Cup, they will face each other in 4 weeks. Another very easily drivable match for the Indy 11 fan base. Asking for a handball, deemed that Craig got that with his shoulder. Rendon has Blake to his left. Has Singh up top, trying to find Singh. 1 touch. Couldn't get back to it a 2nd time. Now Blake will reset with Medense. And that will be a corner. And that may be the best bit of skill we've seen Jack Blake display tonight. Because he basically moved that ball with his 2 legs while his face was planted on the Carroll Stadium turf.
Yeah. It was a good outcome out of that. He's kind of trapped in the corner. Nowhere to really go. Earns his team a corner kick. Waste a little bit of time here. Up 2 goals late in the game.
Corner kicks brought to us by our friends at IBEW 481.
Little bunny hop. Little bunny hop with the ball. I like it. He had the butt bike last month. Now he's got the bunny hop.
Short corner. Quinn. Right back to Lindley. Bending ball, headed cross. Sliding effort couldn't be sent home. That was nearly 4. And again, you are seeing the cumulative effect of being a man up for 80 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great little play and exchange between Cam Lindley and Aiden Quinn. Great ball in. Not to mention you have Singh, Rashid, Herbert. You got some big guys coming in on the back post for any crosses.
Rashid looking for his first goal in Indy 11 uniform. He is the first player from the University of Indianapolis to appear in a match for the Indy 11. He finished his career at Xavier. Indy 11 soccer sponsored by Hyatt Place. Experience comfort in downtown Indianapolis. Rashid, that ball.
Goodrum is still trying to start
care
stuff
him off
with
an Indy 11 player for a corner. I'm not exactly sure about that.
Yeah, Indy 11's not happy. Goodrum and Paco Craig are kind of going at it. Goodrum still trying to
those two
instigate
former
some
League
things.
City players talking about maybe their favorite place to eat.
Oh, yeah, I'm
while
sure.
they played.
I'm sure,
for
yeah.
the boys in purple, perhaps. How that ended up as a corner for Lexington is a bit head-scratching, but we play on. Bending ballman Eric Dick.
He says, hey, I'll calm things down. I'll take this.
He is the cooler for the Indy 11. And again, last week, he's been great all year, Eric, the local product. Last year's finals MVP with Pittsburgh and leading them to their first championship. But again, he saved one and Fort Wayne players missed two. And it was like the first time, oh yeah, that's the guy that won the championship by not giving up a goal last year.
Yeah.
Sizable fella between the posts. In Indy 11 at home each of the next two Saturday nights. Rhode Island. Indy's had some doozies with them. And Rhode Island's now third year in the league.
Yeah, obviously this game's not over yet, but it's certainly looking like Indy 11 game to win, plus some upcoming home matches. They have a real good opportunity in front of them to climb up the ladder.
Rashid.
Great defense by Rashid.
It's going to be a foul. So O'Brien just kind of clipped from behind, trying to dispossess him.
Those are really hard when you're kind of isolated one-on-one defensively on the flank, and Rashid does a great job. Everyone's taught just delay, stay in front, get in front of shot angles, don't dive in. Did a really good job there, waited for the attacking player to make a slightly wrong touch and poked it away.
And again, trying to draw contact. Not enough, and we play on. And Craig just knocks down the other end of the park, and something kind of at a weird angle. And then Malloy. And that's going to be a foul called against Indy. And
wow.
We saw the end result of kind of Malloy turning his arm and catching a player kind of above the chin.
We didn't have the best angle. That looked like a I'm not exactly sure how that's a foul on Rendon, but
again, there's going to be some grading on the curve tonight because Braden Fry was scheduled to be the fourth official this year and had to enter the match due to an injury. So again, Rendon has already taken one of the chops tonight, but this was a good thing for the Indy 11. Again, that is an automatic do not pass go. Go straight to the locker room. That has changed the direction of the match.
Yeah, it sure has.
Ball headed straight up. Rendon got it again, and Hafferty could not keep that on frame.
It was the first time I saw it on that red card replay. You could actually see one of the coaches on Lexington FC's bench just throw his hand up like, what are you doing?
That's the easiest red card ever.
Yeah. No one was trying to fight it. But even Indy 11's got a 2-goal lead here. Handful of minutes left. Coach McCauley wants the team to get better at closing games out. Right? And that doesn't mean just not allowing goals. right? But can they get the ball into their attacking half? Can they possess it in the attacking half? Can they kill the game by getting the ball into the corner kick and earning throwing opportunities deep in the half? That is how you kill off a game.
Toronto gets the last touch. So put Indy at 15 points on the season. They enter today just 4 points back of second place. Tampa Bay has built a little bit of a buffer between they and everybody else in the Eastern Conference so far. Good looking header that time by Scott, but again, Eric Dick not easily displaced in traffic from that ball. Here's O'Brien. Outstanding effort. Lindley has to rotate all the way back. We had 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. We will not have as much in half number 2. Eric Dick makes the play. He and Goodrum make contact. Nothing nefarious there. Just two guys trying to own the same real estate.
Yeah, Eric Dick's going to win the real estate battle with most guys.
Indy 11 Soccer presented by the Denny Company. Staring down the past so you can build the future. Make sure we thank our Central Indiana Ford dealers as well. Proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Will be a foul against Burks. And there's talent here for Lex. Just a matter of putting it all together.
Yeah,
but this is one where, because the way this one played out, not that anybody has physical tape anymore, you can pretty much delete this from the hard drive. There's not much you're going to study from this one and learn from if you're Lexington.
Yeah.
Just one moment of anger changed the entire course of the match.
You know, Goodrum's shown some frustration here as late, and it's probably because he's played 89 minutes by himself up top.
Right. Quinn racing back and got more man than ball, and he'll get a yellow.
Yeah, we had a tough angle on that one to get a clean.
I thought
sight,
at first glance this one was called properly.
Yeah.
We'll take a look
my
here.
My gut was the same, Rake. My gut was the same. Yeah. I'm not sure he even got the ball. I think he got his foot. Yeah. Great call by the ref.
By the way, 3 minutes of additional time. 3 minutes is what is left in this match. If Lexington has any hope in this one's got to go in quickly. Stay tuned. Post-match, we'll have post-game interviews. Our Desnita Organic Tequila post-game show follows our broadcast here. Malloy steers it in. Indy got a boot to it first. Blake will square off Malloy as best he can. Finds Dylan Singh.
He's got numbers.
Yep. Rendon, if he can get it to him. Now Lindley. Can Lindley get a goal in his record-breaking match? Tries the assist instead. Rendon doesn't get through. That was Ordonez that got in the way. Rendon goes down, and nothing of it. Matrano will play that off to the side.
Yeah, I do love this ball from Lindley. Some people might argue, hey, take it to the corner. There's 2 minutes left, but I love that ball, and Rendon looks like he had a good strike on it.
Nothing doing at the other end just yet. 90 seconds or so left to go in this one. Foul called against Rashid. Again, I will revert back to an earlier statement.
Yeah, I mean,
Lewis, the injured player, down for Lexington.
Ref's doing his best here. I think most of the close ones have gone Lexington's way. I don't know if that's because of the score line or not. But
and if you're an Indy 11 fan, it's hard to complain. You've been playing a man up for 90
true.
minutes.
That's very true. Very true.
Take a look. Yeah, foul there. Fair play. A little more time kind of coming off the scoreboard here. Other scores. How about this? Miami leading Lou City 4-3. Rhode Island enjoying a 1-0 lead against Brooklyn. Tampa Bay doing it again. They're leading Phoenix 3-0. A couple of other East versus West matchups tonight. Charleston at New Mexico at 9. Birmingham at Monterey Bay is at 10. Earlier today, Loudon and Detroit City played to a 0-0 draw. As it stands now, this result would vault Indy 11 up to 5th in the Eastern Conference. Let's hope that Lewis is all right.
Can't tell if it's a ankle, quad. It's definitely laboring. Get off the field over there.
Closing
Tough player.
seconds, there may be 2 men down. And Lewis getting his 5th match of the season. Had 26 goals in 6 years in Colorado. Let's hope he's all right. Turns 29 in June, does Lewis. Malloy's effort goes right to Eric Dick. And again, we are basically up to the discretion of the referee at this point. We're past the allotted stoppage time because of the Lewis injury, where you're playing additional. And again, Indy can frankly step on it if they want to, and avoid any sort of further risk at this point. Just kind of have a hit at this point if you're the Indy 11. There's a glance at the wrist watch for our center official in Braden Fry.
He's kind of knocking it around, waiting for the ref to blow his whistle.
Again, you're up 2 men. There's no need to force the issue here.
Yeah, it's one of those moments as a ref, like just, blow the whistle. Yeah, let's. The only bad things are going to happen after that.
The Indy 11 make it 7 out of their last 8 here at Carroll Stadium, where they get the full 3 points. Played a man up for more than 90 minutes. It took until the second half to put this one away. Trio of goals for the Indy 11 tonight. Equal all 3 points. Post-game coverage comes your way next. You're watching Indy 11 Soccer on My Indy TV.
Odds are, you know the way to a person's heart is through their stomach, but maybe don't know much about complex blood and bone cancers. Or you know all the ins and outs of a chassis, not necessarily all about robotic heart valve surgery. And while he's thinking about bulldozers, you're not thinking about him ever needing a stem cell transplant. But if you do need care, trust the expert healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Deep inside you, there's a spark waiting to be ignited, a yearning for a real connection, something that truly moves you. Find experiences that stir your soul in our new Kentucky home, where amazing nature and authentic bluegrass inspire you, where world-renowned bourbon and horses wow you. Kentucky, find what moves you.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers, a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. And by IU Health. Indiana University Health is proud to be the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Indy 11, supporting athletes in our community with expert orthopedic and sports injury care close to home. Welcome to the Midwest in late May and June. It's past 9 o'clock. Skies are primarily blue. Even though the sun has set, it feels like sunshine for the Indy 11. They get another home win, their fourth of the season, as they beat Lexington 3-1. Again, Lexington played a man down from the 3rd minute on. Time now for our securing the win moment. It is brought to us by Allegiant. And even though it ended up not being the game-winning goal, it set the tone early. Bruno Rendon's 7th in all competitions this year.
He's been such a dangerous player for Indy 11 and gets the game started the right way for them.
Edward Chisholm gets the assist. Now, Aaron Malloy had a phenomenal hit early in the second half that tied it at 1. But Dylan Singh and Josh O'Brien would both tally in half number 2. Sean McCauley having his meeting on the pitch. We'll hear from Sean and other members of the Indy 11 coming up in a matter of moments. Final score from Indianapolis tonight. Indy 11-3 and Lexington 1. As you're watching USL Championship Soccer on MyIndy TV and ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Indiana is built on community, pride, and coming together. And on match day, that spirit lives at the heart of Indy 11.
Cuts it back, headed home. It is time to cue the smoke in Indianapolis for the first time this year.
Families, friends, lifelong fans, and first-time supporters alike. It's more than a match. It's a place where Indiana gathers to cheer, celebrate, and belong. Experience the energy at the mic. Get your tickets today at Indy11.com.